Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Arcanum of Steamworks and Magick Obscura, Blind. Now, I was thinking about what happened in the end of the last episode, what with the Gypsy's curse and everything about that, and I feel bad about reloading because it feels cheap to me. Whenever I play a game for the first time, I usually try to stick with the consequences of whatever I do, even if they are bad or potentially debilitating. So even though it sucks a lot that I'm going to get a curse that drops my charisma by 2 just as I have upgraded it, I feel like it's only fair, for me to suffer the consequences of my own choices and, grit my teeth and go onwards despite that. I guess I'll have to sink 2 more points into charisma after that, or maybe I will find some items that help me. So I guess I will redo what I did before, which is entering this Madame Tussauds House of Secrets and talking with the psychic here. Hello, I've been expecting you, traveler. Now, I have to say though, I find this quest a little convoluted in its design, because I feel like, sure, it's playing on the idea of her knowing the future, so she supposedly knows that I've come here to take her crystal ball to give to the other, fortune teller. But the problem is, I didn't even know that she has one. Like, I entered this, I wasn't given a direction to go to here specifically and like kill her or something. So when I talk with her and when she says she knows what I'm going to do, it feels unfair to me because I don't even know what I'm going to do. It's not like I was given a quest to kill her. I didn't know she was here. I was just wandering around. So when I try to stay neutral and she attacks me nonetheless and then curses me, it feels unearned to me. And I don't feel great about that, but I feel even worse about reloading because that's a cheap tactic and I generally don't do that when playing the game for the first time, so I guess I will have to live with that. Maybe I'll be able to get some items that up charisma, or maybe I can get the blessing of the gods. That one was mentioned in one of the other quests, and that will up my charisma back. But in the end, I'm still losing 2 points of charisma for nothing. But oh well, that is what life is. Really, and why would that be? I think you know why. She looks at you with her dark eyes shining in the candlelight. You've been speaking with Dolores Beston. I know the real reason you're here, but I don't think you do. Yeah, the problem is, I was speaking with Dolores Beston, but I wasn't given directions specifically to go here, so it's not like if it wasn't for her attacking me for trying to stay out of this, I could have very well done that. I wasn't planning on killing her and taking the crystal ball by force, so I feel like this quest is a little bit unfairly designed, and it rather annoys me, but what do you mean? She merely wants your crystal ball. Listen to me, Dolores Beston came to my shop not 3 days ago, asking for her fortune. I told her, traveler. And here we are. We are all part of what is to come, and it is you that must choose. Yeah, I feel bad about this whole situation, but oh well. I've made my choice before, and it's the right thing to do, I believe, in terms of, I don't know, gamer honesty, to stick with it. So just tell me what is going on. Choose, coward, I will choose for you. On which side will you fall, mine or Dolores Beston's? Blast, I will not choose. I won't be forced into this. Well, in fact, I will be forced into this, which is, I guess, the point, but I feel like the punishment is a bit too severe, because it's a permanent, lowering of your stats that you get simply because you didn't want to get involved. But oh well. I will not choose. I won't be forced into this. I warned you. I will decide for us all. Well, let's at least take the crystal ball and take it to the other fortune teller. Maybe she will give me some kind of reward or something. But yeah, for killing Madame Tussaud, you have received an ancient gypsy blood curse, and the blood curse lowers my charisma by 2, which is really annoying because I just upgraded it to 12 to have 3 followers, and I will have to do that again, basically. Oh well. Well, let me continue with exploring this location, because I don't think there are still a couple of... Okay, the guards are not attacking me, which is good. Still a couple of locations I haven't looked at. There's some kind of a person here. Ah, it's a beggar. Spare a coin for a poor old beggar, sir? Sure, have 10. You truly are a kind man. Thank you. Okay. So what is this home about? Tough-looking, shady character. You dwarves nauseate me. Okay, may I ask your name? I am Mr. Black. What do you want? What can you tell me about this place? Listen, buddy, I do not have time for your interruptions. If you need assistance, speak to the shopkeeper. Okay. Yes, friend? Is there something I can do for you? Will you train me to be an expert at backstabbing? That's a weird question to ask right after you've met someone. Let's trade. We have nothing of interest to you here, sir. Oh, so is it like a thieves' guild hideout or something? Do I need to be a member for them to trade with me? Okay, I'm not sure. I don't think I was here. You're the courier. Let's have a note and be done with it. Ah, that's the note I was given at the gentleman's club that I was not supposed to read, and it told me the address of where the painting was, right? I believe. So I'm pretty sure they are going to attack me, because he said, the gentleman in the club, he said that he will know if I read it or not. But I am ready to fight them. I should be able, with Magnus's help. Magnus is basically has doubled my offensive potential as far as my team is concerned. You're the courier. Let's have a note and be done with it. Here it is. We told you not to open it. The cost for you is your life.
Friend, I've been wounded terribly. Quickly, I need healing.
Okay, that wasn't as easy as I would have liked, but I managed. Nobody died. Tarantt newspaper, passport, and a note. Okay, I would like to take them all, if possible, so let's give some items to Magnus. Oh, I guess he's unconscious. I will give them the steel. And the spike. He can have the axe handle for now as well. I am not going to use it until I get the proper skill to make the featherweight axe. Okay, so let's take all of this. The passport. The name on the passport is Rory Limes. Ah, so that's their like leader. Well, a leader or just a guy who was involved in the actual stealing of the painting. And in fact, I've invoked his very name to steal the painting back. Tarantt newspaper. Garinsburg Haste painting stolen. Okay, so I've read this issue, so I can drop it. What about the note? Ah, and the notice is just the address. which I also don't really need at this point. I guess I will give it to Virgil. He's carrying all of my papers as of now. I will keep the passport because maybe I can return it to the authorities or something. You know, when I tell them about what happened. Quilton Bend. Okay, let me look at this. Was I here? I don't think so. Okay, so let me return to here, explore this, and then I go along the lines of here, and then to here, because I think this is the gypsy's tent, and if it's the same kind of character as it was back in Shrouded Hills, then she should be able, or he or whatever, the person that's living here should be able to identify my magical items, which I would appreciate because I have quite a few of them. Poon's Flophouse, okay. Ah, so it's like a... It's a... what's the word? Like a hostel for workers and stuff. I don't have time for dwarves. Do you always greet a potential guest in such a manner? Ha, guest, we don't like your kind around here. I have coin. In that case, what can I do for you? Okay, I don't really want to stay for now, but it's good to know there's presumably a cheaper option than the one. Damn it. I guess the guards are attacking me after all? I wonder if that will be all of them. That I've already saved, to be honest. Quinton Bend, and this is locked. Yeah, I'm not really happy with what is happening, but worn shoes, damage resistance 1. I can give them to one of my companions, maybe. I don't think Virgil has shoes. Yeah. It's always a little bit of an upgrade as far as his defense is concerned. Hey, what do you think you'll be doing then? I thank you to leave my house. Pardon me, I was just looking for some work. What this be looking like to you? A workhouse? Get on your way. I don't fancy people of your stripe. My apologies, sir, I didn't mean to give offense. I suppose I shouldn't be so hard on you. You can't help being born that way, eh? In answer to your original question, I don't have any work. Right. Anywhere work right now, he wanted to say, right? I don't have any work. Good day. Thank you, good day. So I guess I maybe will return later, although I probably will forget by some time. Like this city is very huge, actually. Well, it is said to be the largest city in all of Arcanum, and it certainly fits the description. I've been exploring it for like 3 hours straight, and I'm not even done yet. Human villager. What does a dwarf want with me? Yeah, can you identify something for me? Okay, so what does she have for barter? Various magical items, I guess. But let's gather all of the items I want to have identified. That's going to be small armor. I wonder if dwarves are considered to be small or like medium, because they are very stocky and broad-shouldered. I guess I will check after I identify it. Can you identify something for me? Identify that for 100 coins. Sure. unidentified axe. Is the axe better than what Virgil is currently using? Because he has aptitude towards magic, right? I wonder if he will switch the weapons, then I guess it is. 112 plus 5. 112 plus 5 is 517, and the speed is higher, so I guess he can't use it because he doesn't have enough strength. In that case, because Magnus has aptitude towards technology as well, so I imagine magic is not going to work, right, for him or for me. I guess I'm going to sell those then. What about armor? It's small, so Virgil is not going to be able to wear it. Well, let's at least identify all of my items. Well, I need to give it back to him. Because at the very least I can sell it for a greater price if it's identified. Okay, I wonder if Virgil can even wear armor. Like, is it going to interfere with his magic? Mana plus 16. Okay, that's potentially cool. I wonder if Virgil can use it. Okay, those are two exactly the same maces, but I'm mainly interested in mana plus 16. Okay, I have to pause for a second, be right back. Okay, I'm back, so let's continue identifying the objects. Although, I wonder why Virgil can't wear that. Is he too weak? Does he have too low strength? Because it doesn't say the requirements anywhere, as far as I can see. Well, let's try again. Well, anyway, worst case scenario, I can still probably get a good price by selling those, so I am going to identify everything. More maces and a couple of pieces of armor. Large armor is probably for ogres, so I won't have any use for that. Okay. But I wonder if... Magic power available 0. I wonder if Virgil can wear armor. Because it doesn't say, like, I would imagine, common role-playing wisdom would tell me that it would lower his magical abilities, but it doesn't say that anything, I mean, anywhere around here. So I'm curious what will happen if I give him armor. Is he going to wear it or not? drop this, and pick up this for now. Then give it to him. He is wearing it. So I gather from that. Okay, he looks really bad in it. I don't quite like it. I've gotten used into him. Frick! Oh, you bastard! Ha! Interesting. Well, that serves me right. Interesting, I wasn't expecting that, but again, I am going to suffer the consequences. Apparently, NPCs pick up items that you leave on the floor, which is interesting, but also, I wonder if you could set up traps this way. Like, if I left a... I don't know... if I could, like, poison something and leave it on the floor and they would pick it up and die, or something. She stole the other piece of armor, which is annoying, because I was going to sell that, but... And she also stole a piece of ore? I do believe that dwarven ore I've given to Magnus. Yeah. Okay, I can definitely sell this when I find the right... Oh, I still have one unidentified mace, but I'm pretty annoyed with her right now. Oh well. I guess it serves me right, like... It is a rather realistic possibility, I guess, because if you threw something on the floor, people would assume you don't need it, right? You threw it away. I just wasn't expecting it from the game. Okay, so what else is there to explore? I guess there is the whole of this. Well, the whole of it. It isn't that large, but it would be the last part in the city proper to explore for me, apart from the slums. So maybe I will go and visit Gilbert Bates after that. Stanton Importers. 3 ogre guards. I have no time for those of your race, dwarf. I'm sorry, were you speaking to me? Please excuse me, I thought you were one of them lower class hoodlums, you understand. What is your name, sir? Name's Stanton, like the sign says, importer. What do you need? Ah, I hear you're the man that owns the Bessie Tune. Yeah, what of it? I am here as the representative of the family. As I said, what of it? I think you should return the ownership of the mine to them. Ha! Why should I do that? I paid that little weasel good money for his worthless mine. Unless you were planning on making it worth my while? Perhaps. He said he was forced into giving it to you. Forced? Ha, that's rich. It was his suggestion. He owed me a bit of money, you see, and it was his way of making good. Well, what would you sell it for? I could let it go for, let's say, 350. Okay, I have too low persuasion to really do anything about it, and I can afford that at this point. I will probably earn more just by selling all of the magical items, so sure, I'll take it. It's been a pleasure doing business. Agreed. Good day, sir. Okay, but I need to return this to Magnus, because I cannot pick up the deed. Deed to the Bessie Tune mine. Okay, so I think I'm going to give it back to the sister, because I feel like that would be the better choice, unless she's bullshitting me, but I have no solid proof, and usually in games, you know, that's something I was talking about. you're supposed to kind of take most of the things at face value. Like, if it turns out that somebody is lying, there isn't usually like a whole convoluted path of checking each statement and if it holds water or not. Like the straight progression line of this quest storyline was: I was told the story by the man, and then a different story by his sister. But I guess I'm supposed to believe that his sister's story is true. So the Tarantian water and power plant. Oh, maybe I can get some information about the recent problems in the sewers. Okay. Let's talk with this guy. Get on with it. I do not have all day. We've only just met. Where are your manners? Normally I keep my opinions on those matters to myself, but I just can't help it. You're one of the most unpleasant individuals I have ever laid eyes on. Please, it would be best if you just left me alone. I'm sure we can find a way to put this behind us. Perhaps I might give you a moment or two. Make it fast, though. Thank you. May I ask who you are? Of course, I'm Charles Dunstan, the manager of the Tarantian water and power plant. Nice to meet your acquaintance. Yours as well, sir. Have you a moment? Certainly. Yeah, I've noticed you've sealed off part of the sewers. Why is that? Well, as you can imagine, there's never been a more perfect place for vermin and evil creatures than a sewer system. Unfortunately, it's almost impossible to keep those vermin down in the sewer systems once they've taken up residence. There have been some fatalities. I'm sorry to hear that. So you sealed all the sewers up? No, just the worst parts. Some of the sewers are still open to the streets, although I wouldn't recommend roaming around in those either. Creatures aren't the only thing you can find out there. I see. Is there any way I could get to the old sewers? He set his jaw firmly. No, no one is allowed to go down there, except with my permission. And I tell you right now, no one is getting my permission. This is my final word on the matter. There's only one way down there, and you'll have to get by me to use it. I see. So there's no way to get down there except through here? No. As I've told you, to the best of my knowledge, we sealed up all of the entrances to the old sewers when I deemed it necessary. There might be another way in, but if there is, I don't know about it. Okay, can I ask some more questions? Is there any way I can get into the sewers to take a look around? No? Okay. What do you do here, Mr. Dunstan? Here at the plant? Oh, we regulate the power usage for the city and make sure that the sewage systems are running correctly. Tarannt is a technologically advanced city, sir, and it's a full-time job to keep everything running smoothly. And of course, there have been the problems with as of late, with the old sewers. What problems are those? Well, as you can imagine... Oh, so he repeats himself, basically. I guess he was hinting at the possibility of there being another way in, so maybe I can enter the sort of legal part of the sewers, you know, the part that is still open, and then traverse it and come out the other way. Liquid soap. Okay, potentially might be useful for crafting or something, or to give to someone. So I think I will go to the sewers eventually, but before I do, I still have a thing or two to do here, and by here I mean the top side of Tarannt. Unlocked. Appleby residence. Ah, so that's Gilbert Bates' main business rival. I have no time for those of your race. Who might I have the pleasure of addressing? A pleasure one such as yourself is not worthy to have, I can assure you, threatened Toad. You are standing in the presence of Cedric Applesby. I didn't know who you are. I'm not worthy to clean your feet, sir. Well, screw that. That's a bit of an overkill. As far as prostrating myself before someone goes. Like, I don't even have any concrete business with him. I could just annoy him with the mention of Gilbert Bates, because supposedly he flies off the handle if you mention Gilbert in his presence. Oh, Panarii Temple. Okay, this could be interesting. In the name of Nasruddin, the Panarii welcome you to our temple. How may I help you today, friend? What kind of services do you render? I'm in need of your services. Of course. What is it that you need? Can you train me to be an apprentice? In what? In healing. Never mind. What do the Panarii believe in? The Panarii Church is based on the teachings of Nasruddin, an elf who lived during the Age of Legends. As a head of the Elven Council, Nasruddin acted as a guide for all of the races until the rise of Aronnax and his evil followers. Nasruddin waged war and Aronnax was defeated. The Panarii Church was founded sometime after that. Might I ask a few more questions about the Panarii? Of course. So, what is the Age of Legends? The Age of Legends was a time between 1500 and 2000 years ago, when magic was a much larger part of the world than it is today, before mages left for Tulla, a time of dragons and knights and kingdoms, the time of the Elven Council. Okay, what was the Elven Council? The Elven Council was a group of elves and mages who oversaw the well-being of all races of Arcanum. They were ruled by Nasruddin, a wise and powerful elf who was the head of the council for 1,000 years. Okay, what more can you tell me about Nasruddin? Nasruddin was a benevolent leader of the Elven Council. For 1,000 years he ruled all of Arcanum and brought peace and prosperity to all of the races. His teachings are recorded in the sacred Arcanum and are the cornerstone of all of the Panarii beliefs. Okay. The Arcanum, where might I get a copy of it? The sacred book of Nasruddin's teachings? It is housed in the first temple of Panarii in Caladon. You can see it there. Okay. About Nasruddin again. Are there any prophecies that he will return? Yes, it's called the Prophecy of the Living One. It is written in the Arcanum that one day both Nasruddin and Aronnax will return to Arcanum and fight for the final time. I don't understand. Isn't Nasruddin dead? Yes, he's been dead for a long time. The literal meaning of the prophecy is unknown. Many believe that they will both be reincarnated, or that the prophecy is a metaphor for something more contemporary. The truth is, we just don't know. And who is Aronnax? Aronnax was an evil elf who came into power during the Age of Legends. He believed that only he and his followers were fit to rule, and decreed death to all of the other races. Nasruddin, in his mercy, came to our defense, and I quote from the Arcanum, defeated Aronnax, banishing him forever into the void. That's an interesting phrase, because it seems to imply that he didn't kill him. He banished him into the void, whatever it is. What do you mean he was banished? We're not quite sure. Banishments no longer happen. We believe that it took powerful magic to do so, and once banished, that person never returned. But the Arcanum speaks of it, and so do we believe. Has anyone else ever been banished? Yes, the Arcanum speaks of others who suffered the same fate as Aronnax. There are 4 who are listed by name: Gorgoth, Krakatur, Kergan, and the Bane of Kree. They were all evil beings, but none were so evil as Aronnax. If you ever see the Arcanum, you can read more about them. Okay, more questions? Okay, I guess I asked all of them. I'm glad you stopped in, my friend. Would you like a pamphlet before you go? Sure. Here you go. In the name of Nasruddin, farewell. It's interesting for me that Virgil didn't comment, he didn't speak throughout this whole conversation, even though he's a believer of the Panarii religion as well. Let's read the pamphlet. Are you confused in this new world of magic and technology? Are you sad about the lack of reverence for the old ways? Then the Panarii religion is for you. Based on the teaching of the great elf Nasruddin, the Panarii religion offers truth and guidance in the world of quick remedies and soothsayers. But don't believe us, listen to what others have said about the Panarii and its beliefs. I've never been happier. I've even sold my staff of hideous death. A Wermandoon, a former dark necromancer. Panarii good! Oh, Goga! Terix Skullcrusher, former ogre shaman. Those Panarii buggers are alright in my book. Proc Heldman, former half-orc bounty hunter. We accept all races, all walks of life. Come and share in the ancient elven wisdom and see how it applies to your life today. We're always open. Come one, come all. And that reminds me of the pamphlets that the Jehovah Witnesses are offering. Okay. Now, I guess I'm ready to go and talk to Gilbert Bates then. But before I do believe I have at least one minor quest to still finish topside. Yeah, Mr. Wright, editor of the Tarantian, wants you to deliver a payment note to Mrs. Halser, who lives on the corner of Devonshire and Vermeulen, and also Dolores Beston wants me to steal Madame Tussaud's crystal ball, which I inadvertently did because she attacked me and I had to kill her. And also, Madam Lil wants me to retrieve Cassie's necklace from 46 Devonshire Way. Okay, East End Avenue, Kensington Broadway. I do believe that the psychic lives somewhere around here. H.T. Parnell. Ah, that's the museum. Kensington, and this is Desile Terrace. Okay, so that's not exactly what I wanted. But Vermeulen Station is right here, right? So... Okay, I have to pause for a second, be right back. Okay, I'm back yet again. Unfortunately, today I'm getting interrupted every time I want to sit down and play a bit of Arcanum, so there is that. But I want to visit the magical smith, because I believe, Zerad's magic armory, because I believe he might be willing to buy all of my magical items. And I want to sell most of them actually, because me and Magnus, we can't really use them effectively, and Virgil apparently is too weak to do that. So I'll give that to him for now, just to be able to better take most of the items at once and just sell them. Okay, he has no more magical items, so I believe the rest are in Virgil's inventory. Okay. Interested in trading? Yeah, 600 coins for that. 400 for that. 200 for that. Okay, and now... Okay, I believe that's probably everything. Let's trade. 400 for that. And 400 for... it's plus 16 mana. I will sell it. I'll probably find something better later on. Okay, so let's sort that. And now get back the things from Magnus. Okay, I can leave him the rest for now. I will be returning the crystal ball rather soon to the psychic, but I don't remember where is she located exactly. However, Vermilion Road and the Soil Terrace. I'm looking for... right. The psychic's shop is right here, I believe. Yeah, Dolores Beston, Seer of the Unnatural. Well, I hope she's happy at the very least. How do you do? Greetings, may I speak with you for a moment? Of course, I have returned with the crystal ball. That's grand. Here's the payment. She hands you 200 gold pieces. This is not worth it at all. I've killed the person and have been cursed for all eternity. And all I got for that is lousy 200 gold. Where did you get it? Madame Tussaud, a medium in the warehouse district. Haha, the old crone. She knew absolutely nothing at all. I knew she was fake from the very beginning. I'm sorry, what do you mean? Oh, if you must know. I'd heard rumors about her around town. People saying that she could actually see the future. Rubbish. No one can really see anything. It's all an act. I lie to those old ladies all day, tell them exactly what they want to hear. So I went to them, to this Madame Tussaud and told her that I wanted to see my future. And what did she say? She told me a stranger would walk into my store one day and that he would be my death. Could you believe it? My death. So when I saw you come in here, you can imagine my surprise and my fears. Yeah, so I got majorly kind of played. Well, maybe not played. I still feel like it wasn't really my fault because the other person, she reacted unreasonably, I feel like. But of course. Don't you see the irony? You've gone and killed her. She was the one that needed to fear you, not me. I broke my own crystal ball just in case someone did show up, and in the end, you kill her and I get her crystal ball thrown in, just for good measure. Ha! So much for old Madame Tussaud. Yes, but she cursed me on her death, and it is your fault. It is, totally. Cursed you? I'm very sorry. Really, if there is anything I could do... I'm pretty sure there's not, and that's the problem. Get away from me. I have nothing to do with all of that. I was just watching my own back. It's not my fault. To be honest, if someone deserves to die here, it's probably her. Like, she has orchestrated this entire event, and she entirely wanted me to kill the other one. So, I wonder if, like, the curse can be lifted, like, from beyond the grave, if I avenge her or something. Well, let's try it. Like, I don't even feel bad. I felt bad about the first part, kind of, but I don't particularly feel bad about killing her now, because she literally admitted that she planned this whole thing, and that she played me specifically to kill the other person and take her crystal ball. She broke her own just to stage this. So, if that wasn't, you know, a premeditated plan to kill her, you know, the other woman, then I don't know what is. Madame Tussaud was right all along. I'm going to kill you. I'm being attacked. Well, what about the curse? Well, nothing, I'm still cursed. Oh well. That sucks, generally speaking. Okay, now Vermilion Station. I mean Vermilion Road. What number was it that I need to retrieve the necklace from? Hmm. 46 Devonshire. Oh, that's Devonshire Way, but Devonshire and Vermilion is where Mrs. Holster lives, so I believe it's further south. Well, it's actually not south. I'm not sure what cardinal direction this is, but doesn't really matter. Grimson, because this is the district where the nobility lives. Oh, Devonshire Way. Okay, that's great. Holster residence. That's where I needed to go. Miss Regina Holster. Why are you bothering me again? Mrs. Holster? Yes, Mr. Wright sent me. Mr. Wright? Oh yes, the payment. Do you have the note? Yes, here you are. Yes, everything seems to be in order. Here's a little something for your trouble. Goodbye. Thank you, ma'am. Goodbye. Okay. So that solves this, right? Ah, okay, I probably need to return to him to tell him that I did that, but Devonshire Way, Moorland residence. I'm supposed to get a necklace from here? Oh, frig. Let me get in first. Laura. You come to the wrong person, dwarf. Still no manners? No matter. I need your assistance. Maybe that depends on your request. I've come from Madam Lil's. Oh, so that's where that fine bauble came from. Good, you found the necklace. Oh yeah, I found it right after that Cassie whore left. A good thing too. Mrs. Moorland came home and took it upon herself to inspect my cleaning. Not an hour after she'd gone. She would have found it for sure. I'm sure Madam Lil would be glad you got to it first. Where is it? Hold on there, mister. I hid it from Mrs. Moorland. I kept quiet about it. I kept it safe all this time. What are you gonna give me as my reward? Reward. Isn't what Mr. Moorland pays you good for you, girl? They don't pay nothing. I work my hands to the bone for these two. You think they appreciate a girl? Wrong. Always calling me lazy and worthless. Good for nothing rich folks. If I wasn't so desperate for the money, I'd leave in an instant. I'm sorry you're not happy, but I've got to take the necklace back. I think I deserve a little something for my effort. Sure, it isn't much, but would you be happy with 25 coins? That's an insult for all I did. Well, to be honest, I would like to offer her like 100, but the game does not let me. I'm sorry, Laura, but that's all I've got to offer, because the alternative is threatening her, which is even more rude. I'm sorry, Laura, but this is all I have to offer. Huh, don't try and lie to me. I know Madam Lil sent you, and that lady is rolling in coin. I want 50 and I won't settle for a coin less. Fine. Here, give me the necklace. That's more like it. Here you are. Pleasure doing business with you. Goodbye. Okay, so that's the necklace. So, I will go back first to the editor to tell him that I've dealt with delivering the message, and then to Madam Lil's. What brings you about? I've delivered the note to Mrs. Holster. Well done. Thank you. Here's the 75 coin I promised. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Is there any more work? I'm sorry. That was all I had available. Okay, thank you. Goodbye. And I guess... Oh! I now have a worthless crystal ball. I wonder if I'll be able to do something with it eventually. But I guess after I return the necklace to Madam Lil, I am more or less ready to go and talk with Gilbert Bates. Although, I still want to investigate the... sewers before that. The IFS Zephyr Miracle, Survival tells all. Read about it. Oh, actually, I do kind of want to. Let me see your newspapers. Tell me the headline of today's newspaper. Yeah. So it's an interview with me. I wonder how is it written? Most assuredly, a 3-coin financing will suffice. Sure. I am done. You're most helpful. And let's read what they've written in the interview with me. IFS Zephyr Miracle. Survival tells it all. Survivor tells it all. A man walks away from fiery death. Greeting, fellow Tarantians. It is I, Victor Wright, your faithful and vigilant editor, bringing you an exclusive story that only a paper of this breadth and quality could possibly do. Just yesterday, our humble offices were visited by none other than the sole survivor of the IFS Zephyr Blimp tragedy. Please see the photograph at page 2. And he deigned to share his account of the final minutes of that fateful voyage with me, for which I will now share with you. Be warned, the story is not for the faint of heart. This is a tale so real and frightening that I would recommend it only to those with the most iron-like will and constitution. Upon questioning, the gentleman had this to say about this harrowing experience. There was a tremendous explosion. It shook the entire vessel. I didn't see anything in the air, but I heard the sound of gunfire. I also heard engines. I believe there were 2 different ones. As impossible as it may sound, it seems that Zephyr had been attacked by some other sort of flying craft. Upon landing, the gentleman said that there was a wreckage also near the blimp, some strange craft. With what those crafts were, the gentleman was at a loss to say. The fate of the Zephyr was sealed only moments after the attack. I am so sorry to say that no one else survived the impact, the gentleman said. He was still visibly shaken from the experience, and so I stopped questioning him shortly. So, dear friends of the city, what are we to make of this? What were those strange crafts? Why did they attack such a noble craft as the Zephyr? Flying bandits, or something even more dark and insidious? Are we not safe in our fair skies? We at the Tarantian will work to bring you the truth of the matter, and I, Victor Wright, will not rest until I have done so. Okay, that wasn't too interesting, but oh well. It's not like it cost a lot or something, so I don't really mind buying that. I do believe, yeah, Madam Lil's. Okay. Hello there, welcome to Madam Lil's, the finest establishment in Tarannt. I have Cassie's necklace. Very good, then I promise you may now take a girl of your choice for a little entertainment. Enjoy your reward. Okay, thank you. I'm not entirely interested in that, but I will. Oh, there are no dwarf women. That's kind of insulting, but I guess, well, insulting. That's probably the pretty. It's probably a pretty entitled way to look at prostitution. But what I meant is, because obviously it's very patronizing to say that I am insulted because a brothel does not cater to my personal needs, where probably a lot of those women are in desperate situations and they are only doing this because they need coin. So that sounded very callous, and I apologize for that. But what I meant is, it's a kind of a bad business model to only cater to humans and elves if you have all of those other races. But I guess maybe the females like don't actually exist in the game. Like there are no models for them because you can't even choose them at character creation if you are a dwarf or a gnome. I don't really want to, sleep with any of them, but I will, because maybe it will produce some additional content. Maybe I can talk with them and ask them about their situation. Maybe I can help them in some way. For example, by providing other opportunities for work. So I will choose this voluptuous human female, I guess. Hello there, mister. What is your name? Oh, I love a man with a beard. I'm Cassie. Would you like to teach me the proper way for a lady to behave? Oh, I can talk with each of them, actually. Tell me about yourself, Cassie. I like it rough. Take your aggressions out on me. I'll be your little whipping post. I have some rope in my room. You can tie me up if you'd like. Maybe later. So I guess she's submissive. Coquettish half-elf female. Hello, lover. Hi, what's your name? I love a man with a beard. I'm Bunny. Would you like to play with me? Tell me about yourself, Bunny. Tell me what you want. I'll do anything. I'm unsatiable. You won't believe the things I can do. Did you bring any friends? They can watch if you'd like. Come on, are you ready for a good time? I can see why you're called Bunny. Maybe later. A young, inexperienced woman, looking shy. Hi, what's your name? I'm Willow. Would you like me to do anything for you? Oh, your beard is so handsome. Can I touch it? Tell me about yourself, Willow. Blushing and looking at her feet. I haven't much experience. I'm just a neophyte. I need you to tell me, what do you want me to do? Suddenly looking at you with large, expressive eyes. But I've been told I'm an excellent pupil. Okay. Maybe later. Half-orc female dominatrix. Hello. Hi. What is your name? I'm Alice. Do you need some discipline, dwarf? Discipline? I'll give you the chastening you need. Make you pay for all you've done. Don't worry, I won't leave scars. And when you've had enough, I'll use the searing heat of my lips to alleviate your pain. Shall we begin? So she's the other one is a sub, and this one is what's the word? A dominatrix. Literally, it even tells me that. What can they what can they teach me, actually? Can you train me to be an apprentice? Persuasion. I already have that. Okay. As I said, I'm not particularly interested, in the carnal pleasures, but I will choose one of them just to see if something interesting happens. And I guess I will choose Bunny because maybe my companions want to take part as well. It's only fair to offer them, participation if they want. I'm ready for some fun. Are you ready for the wildest time of your life? I can see why you're called Bunny. You have no idea, dwarf. why don't you tickle me with your beard? I will show you just how well I live up to my namesake. Okay, okay. I think I'll take you up on that, woman. Oh yeah. Are you ready? Sure, let's go. I wonder what Virgil thinks about this. Another satisfied customer. I was lying on the floor. Okay, does she have anything to say after? I was hoping for like a conversation. Obviously, I wasn't expecting, any graphical, any graphical depictions, because it wouldn't really work with this kind of graphics. And not that I care for that anyway, but I was hoping for some kind of a conversation, like some foreplay or something. But it seems nothing really has happened. Hello, lover. Okay, so nothing new. What about her? Welcome to Madame Madam Lil's, the finest establishment in Tarannt. Okay, so nothing really has happened, which is a bit disappointing, I feel like. But with that, I think I'm ready to go to the sewers. Is this open? Yeah, I think so. What about you? I have no time for dwarfs. Sir, what sort of greeting is that? We've just met. I'm very sorry, but your very presence seems to grate on me. I don't usually associate with people of your kind. Come on, sir. I'm sure we can put those notions behind us. Perhaps you're right. Forgive my small-mindedness. I am Matthew Jameson. A pleasure to meet you. And you, sir, what are you doing here on the street? Oh, bloody bother. I woke up this morning, took my early trip to the loo, so I'm washing my hands, and my wedding ring falls off right down into the sink and disappears. That's a shame. And I went out with the lads last night. We had a few pints too many, and I didn't get home until late. So, you know what the wife is going to think. I thought I might go down into the sewers and see if I could find it, but I hear dreadful things about the sewers. Perhaps I might be of assistance? Would you now? I'd be so appreciative. I don't at all savor the thought of tramping around in the sewers, mussing my shoes. If you were to go down there and find the ring, I would pay you 150 gold pieces. Sure. Splendid. I will await your return then. I was going to go into the sewers anyway, so it's pretty good business for me to actually acquire a quest, but I feel like for now this episode has been long enough, so I'm going to save it and end it. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!